Thank you so much for coming back to Syreta Talks. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I've got Nick Danger, who is a Columbia superstar, but actually a nationwide superstar. Open for some excellent people, founder of Hip Hop Unity Day. And I really just want to get Nick out here talking, telling us what the next move is and everything that has led up to this point. Nick Danger.
How's everybody doing? Positive energy, gratitude, blessings. Nick Danger. So there's so much from Columbia, Missouri, native, first generation here on my dad's side. I'm just looking to brand Missouri as the Midwest music mecca. I see a lot of, I don't like using the word potential. I just see people in motion and action moving forward. And to have some upcoming events that help unify the community and bring everybody together. My next event I am doing is at the end of this month at the Lake of the Ozark International Raceway. I'm performing for Missouri's Best. It's an event I got presented an award for second year in a row for the Missouri's Best Hip Hop Artists.
Nice.
And so we have that May 3rd. I'm doing Hip Hop Karaoke, which is hip hop karaoke at Cafe Berlin. Also accepting donations for Hip Hop Unity Day, Nick Danger Hip Hop Unity Day 2024. And that is a free event to the community.
It's an awesome event. You actually pioneered that, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and had a proclamation from the mayor. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, so that was on September 17th, 2023. We had Hip Hop Unity Day in the parking lot of Cafe Berlin. We had fire spinners. We had break dancers. We had Run DMC's DJ Charlie Chan Soprano. We had Team Como. We had a lot of help from the community. We had a lot of people jump in. We had food trucks. We had fire spinners, I think I said, hula hoopers, Nicole Rain, Ultraviolets, a lot of great people. I'm all about not I, me, but we, us. You know, everybody brings a piece of the puzzle. Not one piece is greater than the next. In order for a puzzle to be complete, everybody's got to bring their piece. So whether it's a small or big piece, to me, they're all equal to the puzzle being completed. So yes, Hip Hop Unity Day was born last year, and this year is set to take place Saturday, September 28th. We're in talks about the location to be determined. I don't want to say a location, then it switches, but you can definitely follow up at hiphopunity.org for more information and announcements. And we just look forward to making this year really successful and then scaling and expanding and hopefully going to St. Louis, Springfield, Kansas City. And we're going to do events throughout the year. Like I said, we have the Hip Hop Karaoke. We have the Columbia Arts Festival, June 13th, next to the Boone County Courthouse at the amphitheater. So I'm just really set on arts and education, financial literacy, life literacy, but really engaging the community through the arts, because the way you perceive it is the way you receive it. So we got to change the perception of education and the arts so people then can receive that connectedness, those resources and education to further themselves and help them thrive and be who they want to be, when they want to be, how they want to be it.
Absolutely. There we go. That was a lot, but I want to touch back on just two things. He really talks about unity, and we just talked about artistry. You are an awesome big artist, but you've been with some big artists too. I remember you were with Flo Rida. You've been with Tech Nine, and recently Nelly. And Nelly's got a baby on the way. Congratulations, Nelly. I just saw that on the news this morning. Him and Ashanti. Isn't that beautiful? So when you were bringing these huge acts and opening up for them, and I also know that you brought Shaq as a DJ as well. Tell us some of the banter that goes back and forth, like, you know, when you bring what you offer to the table.
Well, they say we needed to be hyped. We need to be engaging. We need to get the crowd involved. That's when they call it Nick Danger. And so it's really, I was booked with DeCoin Fair with Flo Rida, and it's just creating a relationship. Everything starts at the foundation level, which is relationships. Create a positive relationship, and then you come through and you follow through with your word, you know, under promise, over deliver always. People can't help but to call you back and keep calling you and keep asking for your advice, whether it be performing, coordinating, words of encouragement, anything. So I just really think that I've gotten to this place through networking relationships and always standing on my word and my actions. And all the encounters I've had with these artists have been great. Everybody's about their business. Everybody's positive and moving forward. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been good. And then, like I said, I've been coast to coast, but it's always the Midwest movements, Midwest of the world, Midwest music mecca. So I really look to build Missouri up and just get everybody an opportunity to be seen, heard, understood, and to start to understand other cultures and build together. Because it's about us as a community and all these other communities networking and building and learning. And that's what helps us grow. You know, the internet was a great tool and is a great tool, you know, when it first came out. But I just see people finding their groups and kind of not growing as much, getting stuck in one way in their opinion, and then like casting everybody else out. So we're in a shift, and I believe it's time that we open the doors and the gates and that opportunity for expansion and connectedness and resources and to learn and grow. And the time is now. And Columbia, Missouri will be heading that movement.
So. Yeah, I love Columbia. I really feel like it's a welcoming town. It's a great town for entrepreneurship, and it's really a great town to, just kind of jettison off into whatever sphere you want to, as long as you put one foot in front of the other and you're still putting in the work. So Nick is one of the hardest working men in show business, and it's just a pleasure to have him on because you're actually, the last thing you were talking about was learning. Tell us a little bit about financial literacy and some of the other programs that you're actively involved in that are helping the community.
Yes, I'm really big on financial literacy. Over the past probably 5 years, I worked on just investing more in the stock market, understanding the compound effect, dollar cost averaging, and how that can create generational wealth over time, even with health insurance policies. There's so many different ways to create legacy and generational wealth. And people always say that it's not all about money. No, but it's about time. To get your time back, you have to understand how money works and how you can make money work for you. And so I'm just really big on people getting a better understanding of that at an earlier age, but even before financial literacy, life literacy, understanding what self-love is, self-worth is, and then setting boundaries, understanding your values and morals as an individual before you then engage with somebody else in any capacity, because you got to know what you stand for before you start engaging with other people. Because if you don't, then you'll just go with whoever is talking about what, and you'll get lost in the sauce, and you never want that to happen.
Yeah, the old saying is, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. So, and without a plan, you plan to fail. So you were talking a lot about financial literacy, self-worth, self-esteem. So it seems super holistic, holistic. Mm-hmm. So what aren't we hitting on as a community to really instill this? There's wholeness and it has to come from where it takes a village. How do you feel?
Oh, it does.
And it does.
I think with technology, I won't blame it all on technology, but it's made it where, and the access to things being super easy, such as DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber, Lyft, mm-hmm. You can order anything, you can work from home, you don't have to engage with people. And to me, that puts you at a disadvantage, because that human interaction, you learn so much subconsciously and consciously, presently, when you're in front of people and able to communicate and exchange information, ideas in real time, right here. Uh-huh. And so I believe we need more events, community-oriented events that bring the community out, so you can see different walks of life in front of your face, experience it. What does it look like, smell like? What does it taste like? What is their religious beliefs or spiritual practices? What all these things help build an understanding, so we can understand each other and not just judge and not just shun and not just shoot down, but build up, grow, thrive, create legacy, wealth, create communities and networks. That would say when you up your network, you up your net worth. So it's
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, it's very important that we engage and know that there might be a sign that says you're welcome at a place, but welcome yourself. That's the way you grow. You have to network. You have to go through doors that other people have not been through from your section, your side, or your group, or your tribe. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable to get to a level of comfort. It's called growing pains.
Okay.
So it's very important that you take initiative. That's why I believe having time with yourself, walks in the morning, 30 minutes, and just reevaluate. Take time to just, they say in Tai Chi, just be quiet, get small. When you get small, get more small, get smaller, and it'll come to you. It'll come to you.
So we've mentioned environment, we've mentioned self-care, we've mentioned financial literacy. I want to talk about, you said, you need to get into these different groups, these different cultures, and find out more about them. Tell us about the recent event you just did.
Afro-Cuban Legacies.
Yeah.
Dr. Juana Maria at the University of Missouri. And she brought in some amazing Afro-Cuban artists from Cuba. Stevens College was also involved. They talked about the music. They had examples of music, her documentaries that she has out. There was Arturo Fero, which is an amazing Cuban jazz artist. And there were so many perspectives, and there was so many different ideas. But the one thing that stuck was culture.
Hmm.
And I say you can't wear culture like tennis shoes and kick it off whenever you want. Culture is the skin. Culture is the blood. It runs through your veins. So what I learned from that conference was um, just how important it is to keep the roots and talk about the roots of your culture and to gain perspective. I was speaking with a professor, and we were talking about the infrastructure of society, and not necessarily always just blaming who you see in front of you, but we
Mm-hmm.
have to blame the infrastructure and take accountability and responsibility for the youth. You know, we see a lot of youth saying, "Oh, they're not motivated, but this and that." Well, the fruit doesn't fall too far from the tree, so we need to look back at, well, why are they not? Were we not being a village? Were we not being supportive? Are we
Mm-hmm.
not providing the resources and also the discipline? Because a lot of people are scared to discipline in certain ways,
Right, right.
and that's important. Structure, discipline, persistence, all that's important to creating an individual who can thrive and reach their goals.
Great, great. And what I want to circle back to is you said roots. And I remember a woman told me one time, how can a tree grow with no roots? So learning your roots and discipline, you touched on so many different things. What do you think is the most important things or things that we need to be rooting in our youth right now? Where do their roots need to be particularly strong?
Uh, I believe knowing their history is very important, and knowing history in general. Wherever you're at, you need to know the history of that land. Wherever you're from, you need to know the history of that land, as well as how the laws work. You know, Bill of Rights, the
Mm-hmm.
Constitution. You need to understand the system, and then you get a better understanding of how to maneuver through the system. Because if you
Right.
rely on the system solely, you will not be able to thrive like you want to, because systems don't always follow through, they fail. And so we need to take accountability and responsibility, knowing that. So know that, okay, I need to have a backup for a backup, and plan A needs to be B, C, D. All these plans need to be part of plan A.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you can keep driving to hit that point, but you know that if this messes up, I can do this and stay on track to hit the goal I want to hit. So like I said, knowing history is important. Knowing the rules and laws of the land is very important,
Absolutely.
and being open to go into different communities and learn in different communities is very important.
Well, what I'm getting from what you're saying is kind of like knowledge is power, because we can talk
Yeah.
about
Hmm.
a problem that exists all day long.
That's right.
But what is talking doing if you're not taking any action steps? And if you don't know how to take the action steps, you're already at a huge disadvantage. So I saw that you've been to Jeff City recently
Hmm.
for the Hip Hop Unity Day proclamation. What were some of the things you were able to take away from that day?
So it was I got my resolution that day. They're very similar proclamation resolution.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It was presented by Cherie Tolson, but also accompanied by David Tyson Smith. So my goal was to unite both Democrat, Republican, all the community. Everything I do is to unite and to get everybody's ideas heard. We had Ronisha from Soul Sessions. We had Adrian from the manager of Cafe Berlin. We had Nick Parks, who was over Park Ventures, which is, Silver Ball, Shiloh, Lakeside, Ashland,
Now,
Level
these are
Up,
all Columbia entities.
all Columbia
Yeah,
entities. And
Columbia
so
entities.
for me, it's very important that no matter your background, your creed, your race, your belief, we come together and we thrive together. And so I always work to create all inclusive environment that's welcoming to all groups. And so we can really hear each other out and see that we have more alike than we do different. Even though we may
Yeah.
think different, believe different, and move different, we all have moves we want to make. In order to make those moves, we need each other. We need each other. There's no I, me, there's only we, us. So until people realize that, it's going to be a very bumpy, rough road, because you're going to come to a part in the road where you're like, I need that person. Oh, I created a conflict, or they created a conflict for me. So now none of us can get anything done. We have to be uh, just come together. We have to put all that ego to the side and come together and realize that in order for the next generation to really have an opportunity to thrive, we need to do our part, come together and creating that path and laying out the legacy for people to walk down and be able to get those resources and connect to the people they need to connect to.
That sounds awesome. Now, Nick, what is your next move? What's the next trajectory for Nick Danger?
Ambassador of the Arts. Looking to be
Nice.
appointed as Ambassador of the Arts in Missouri. And so I can help with getting all these different events off the ground, any way that I can. Working in Columbia, all the surrounding small cities, Centralia, Fulton, Fayette, Mexico, Boonville. I mean, everywhere, Hallsville. just to make it where people can be seen and heard and valued. When people are valued, seen, and heard, they're more prone to
Be
contribute to
successful.
successful and to
Yeah.
contribute to other communities. It's you. If I build you up, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be more prone to turn around and build up the next woman or man or whoever. It's
It's
that,
the ripple effect.
yeah, like
You
the
throw
rock and
that
water.
positive rock out there, and it's gonna resonate throughout the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just give credit where credit is due. Nick is always perpetuating a positive vibe throughout our community, and I'm so grateful and thankful he was able to come on today, tell us all of the things that he's done, that he's doing, and that he will do. And what I'm going to do right now is call out on the community. If you can help Nick in any way, show up, show out.
Yep.
And welcome your neighbor, no matter what they look like, and embrace that culture and even your culture and all those around you. Nick, you want to leave us with anything before we go?
Feel free to donate at hiphopunity.org. That's HIPHOPUNITY.
It's a unity. Sorry.
Unity.org, hiphopunity.org. And we're going to keep growing. And like I said, I'll see y'all April 27th at International Ozark Raceway.
Yeah.
And May 3rd at Cafe Berlin. And if just anybody reach out, I'm ready to collaborate or give somebody a connection so they can thrive. I'm always looking to do that. So,
and we didn't even talk about some of the other things. So Nick will have to come back on, but he also writes jingles. You're also a huge part of MU and what's going on there. So stay tuned for all the awesome things that he is doing. And thank you so much for listening to Syreta Talks. And maybe you could take something away from this conversation and build up your community. Maybe you can throw that positive rock in the pond and see what resonates. Take care.